Can the Oklahoma Sooners land the five-star linebacker, Sammy Brown, and pretty much grip him out of the grasps of Georgia and Clemson, who seem to have a pretty big lead? And I think it's something that we got to talk about because, listen, the past couple of streams, you guys have brought it up. So we're going to talk about it. We're going to make another video. But before we dive into it, please go ahead, jump in the comments below. Let me know what y'all's thoughts are. Do you think the Oklahoma Sooners land Sammy Brown? Additionally, if you haven't already, make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We're constantly bringing you guys college football content, and we know that you guys show up in the masses for Oklahoma, so we're going to continue bringing the OU content. So, Sammy Brown, this recruitment, it's really heating up for the Oklahoma Sooners. Sooner fans are really starting to pay attention to it, and I want to go ahead and look at it because, yeah, you guys are stoked. You guys are excited. There is a reason to be excited. So, Sammy Brown announced recently that as soon as his schedule freed up and allowed, he was going to be able to start taking visits. And he was actually going to come to Oklahoma here on the first weekend of April. So a lot of Oklahoma fans have a lot of high hopes in Brent Venables and Ted Roof to be able to go out there and land the five-star linebacker out of the Peach State. If you guys don't know what the Peach State is, it's Georgia. And it's interesting to me because if you're Oklahoma, you've got a lot going against you in this recruitment. One, because he's so close to Clemson and Georgia, you feel like Clemson and Georgia have a clear-cut lead here. He's been to Clemson 7 times. He's been to Georgia 8 times. He currently has an official visit scheduled for Clemson on June 2nd. Currently, I don't see an official visit scheduled with anybody else. Now, the visit that he's going to be making to Oklahoma in April will now be his second visit. He originally made one on April 7th of last year where, he referenced the Boz and everything in that picture. So you're also seeing Tennessee and South Carolina and Ohio State getting a good amount of visits. But really, when you look down and you dive down into this recruit from Jefferson, Georgia, you believe that it's between Clemson and Georgia. He's only 15 miles away from the University of Georgia. So I don't know how much stock I'm really putting into those 8 visits. Clemson, again, only 59 miles away. That's an easy 1-hour drive. Well, I'd assume if you drive a mile a minute. The problem is, and I guess the question I have is Brent Venables and Ted Roof and the staff going to be able to convince a 5-star linebacker to come to the University of Oklahoma where, listen, the defense has been less desirable? Now, you've heard a lot about Oklahoma going to the SEC and how that hype is really getting a lot of recruits to jump on board and to give Oklahoma a look. But guys, to out-recruit Wes Goodwin, and we talked about him last night on the stream. For those of you who don't know who Wes Goodwin is, he is the defensive coordinator and linebackers coach at Clemson. Here's who he got in 2022. He got a haul. Peter Woods, a 5-star defensive lineman. Vic Burley, a 4-star defensive lineman. Stephen Green, another 4-star defensive lineman. Jamal Anderson, a 4-star linebacker. TJ Dudley, a 4-star linebacker. You kind of catching my drift here? He's a good recruiter. In 1 year, was able to go out there and land 5 stars and highly recruited 4 stars. Oklahoma even lost Khalil Barnes, who he was a secondary on. And so I look at having to recruit against Georgia and Glenn Schumann and Will Muschamp. Yeah, you heard me right. This is going to be a hard battle for Oklahoma. And right now, if you're looking at just those 3, Oklahoma's in 3rd place. Now, that's not to say that Brent Venables, who we know is able to build great relationships with recruits, goes out there, builds a great relationship with Sammy Brown. Sammy Brown ends up loving this university, buying into what he's being sold, and now Oklahoma's the clear-cut favorite. I think we're a ways off from that. I mean, you have heard numerous times, and we've talked about it with KJ Bolden as well. KJ Bolden and Sammy Brown, the belief is that they're going to be a Clemson Tiger. That's just how people feel about them and their recruitment. And so the 6'2", 2.5, 225-pound linebacker would be great to have in this locker room. And in fact, you think that if he got to Oklahoma, he might start the first year. You would think. So, yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to kind of see how this visit goes. And is the staff able to sell? My biggest question is Oklahoma going to have a commit by this time, a big commit that is able to help build this class and sell the class to Sammy Brown? I don't think you have a David Stone committed by this time. I think it would help, but I don't think you do. And so I'm curious to see how that's even going to look. I'm curious if that's going to matter to the three-sport athlete out of Jefferson, Georgia. So, guys, go ahead and jump down in the comments below. Let me know what y'all's thoughts are on Sammy Brown. Do you think he becomes an Oklahoma Sooner? Additionally, if you guys haven't already, please go ahead, hit that like and the subscribe button. Let me know what y'all's thoughts are down in the show about the